Hello, everyone. I want to welcome you to another review of my watch list. And just want to give you a disclaimer that from the beginning that this is not uh, a recommendation to buy any of these, but rather it is just a chance for you to look over my shoulder, what I'm looking at, what I've been doing. And these are 10 stocks that I've selected that I'm going to keep a close watch on this week. I may not buy these, but I'm looking for an opportunity to buy it. So just because it's on my list, that doesn't mean I'm going to get into it or am I going to buy it, but just that I'm observing and waiting for a proper setup for me to enter. Okay, so here we go. Um, we begin with NHPC. And as you know, last week we had an um, uh, extremely red week, very negative, almost every day, except in the last 2 days, Bank Nifty seemed to be, doing well. So it kind of went the opposite way. So the banks seem to have generally done well the last 2 days, not all, but many of the big ones did well. So that accounted for the up move that we saw. Okay, so as we look at NHPC, you'll see on the weekly chart. Okay, so first it had come out of this triangle pattern, okay, and it had broken out of that. But then right after that, there was a resistance level at 29.95, and it broke through that resistance level, and then it tried to go through the next resistance level, and look what happened. See that long wick? So the higher prices were rejected and came back down. Okay. Normally, look at that. 1, 2, 3 days. Okay. 3 days, it just went straight down. So normally, a move like this, a candle like this is the opposite of a doji. It's more like a shooting star. This is very bearish. Although it is green, it closed higher than it opened. So that week, it opened around 31.55 and it closed about 32.40. Although it tried to go all the way up to 37, okay, it went up that far and then but closed lower toward the end of the week. So normally this would be very bearish and I would not be looking at this. I would just take it off my list. But because of the nature of that unusual nature of last week, I'm just watching to see what is going to happen. Okay, a couple of reasons. First of all, it was a market-wide downturn. It just basically profit booking, and then I assume that people are going to get back into the market this week. As I mentioned to you last Friday, I said Thursday and Friday, I said especially Thursday. I said, okay, this week I won't be doing any trades, no new trades this week. I'm just holding on to what I have, keeping my stop losses tight, and several I know that it did hit. So I was going to wait until this week. Now, does it mean I'm going to enter the trade on Monday morning? No, 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 no. Okay, so NHPC, as I said, it broke out of this channel or this triangle, and then it broke through this resistance successfully. And this one, it tried and it came back down. So I want to see if that will continue. And then and something else that's attractive to me is this all-time high. See, this 42.15 is an all-time high, so it's trying to reach toward that, and I want to say it's facing resistance, but it may be just the overall profit booking from last week. So let me see what's going to happen next week. Federal Bank. Okay. I know several of you have shared that you got burned with Federal Bank. Well, you got burned probably because you entered somewhere here and it went down, and then you got upset and got out, took the loss, and then it had gone up, and then you probably entered back in here, and then it went down. See, this is why looking at the chart is highly important. Okay. So right now you have the 20-day moving average above the 60-day moving average, and it has broken through several resistance levels. Here's one, here's two, and here's three. It's broken through 3 resistance levels just in the last 2 weeks. Okay, now let's look at the daily chart. And look at that. Okay. So Federal Bank did well on Thursday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Okay. So the Friday, where all the others were going down, Federal Bank had a nice, strong upward trend. So I'm looking to see what will happen here, if it will continue and break through this next trend, next resistance of 109. Because if it can break through that, this is one of these emotional points where it could try uh, to swing through up to that all-time high. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking to see, what kind of move will happen, and if it's going to break through this next level. That's what I'm looking for with Federal Bank. Okay, now PFC. All right. Now, Power Finance did very well. Look at that for the last few months. It's been moving very well up. And then as the entire market last week, look at that, 1, 2, 3, 4, several red candles, everything going down. Okay, but that's maybe just part of the market, overall trend, and overall profit booking that was rampant throughout the market. Maybe that's just it. So I was looking forward to this breakout of 149.45, but then it broke out and came back down. So now we're back down here. It closed at 137.10. So I want to see if it's going to, what the next Monday and Tuesday, if it's going to push further back, push back up further. And then there might be some people that would say, no, 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 I'll just get in on Monday. See, that's another choice. Get in on Monday because look at that. The 20-day moving average is higher than the 60-day moving average, and the trend is moving up. Okay, and look at that. The last candle was a nice strong candle. So there's a lot of good signs to just jump in and enter. The only thing is, what's going to happen with this resistance? See, now we're down here, and are we going to face this resistance again and then go sideways? That's the only question. So what I would do is I would wait. Instead of entering at 137.10, which you could, what I would do is I would wait until 139.70 and wait until it breaks that resistance. And then I would say, well, that may be somewhere I would be interested in getting in. Next one is SBI. And SBI was on this triangle pattern that I was looking at and observing. And look what happened with this triangle. All right, it broke through, and again, this is like already past its all-time high, so it's all in new territory. And the way it looks the last 2 days, it's going sideways. Okay, so the sideways move, could it be the general market trend? If it's so, let's see what's going to happen. If it's going to move further up. Okay, SBIN. I'm just curious. That's the only reason I'm leaving it in here. Okay. All right. Let me get back to the weekly chart. NTPC. NTPC. Several of you benefited from NTPC. Look at these huge moves on a weekly basis. I'm going to show you the price ranges on each of these moves. This one was about 8%. The next one is a very small one. But if you just looked at the open and close, I'll show you where we stand. Okay, that's just a small move. See that in itself is already 1.7% right there. And the next one, okay, look at this powerful move up. All right, that brings you up to about 11%. So each one has been nice, strong moves. And so this is the only problem here that last week. And so this is something I'm also looking at, waiting until it breaks through 146.55. Now, always remember, even though it breaks through the resistance, one of the possibilities is that it will break through and it will retest this and see if this will act as a support and go back up. So this is what I want to see. I want to see, I'm on a daily chart now. I want to see if it will come back and bounce back up. If so, this is something I'm definitely wanting to look at, NTPC. All right. Now, as you know, now there's some cash available because I got stopped out of several of my trades last week, and because I kept my stop losses firm. All right. Next one is REC Limited. REC Limited is also the same story. See, it was going up and it tried to break through that resistance of 167.15. It got pushed down last week with the profit booking. Look what happened. Okay, so I want to see if it's what is it going to do? Is it going to just swing back up? So if it swings back up, which is a possibility, okay, because it was more like a market correction type of thing. If it swings back up, that's about 11%, more than 11% right there. REC Limited, but I need to get some kind of a clarity on Monday's move before I jump into these. All right, SJVN. Okay, same story. Okay, it broke through this resistance and huge move during that previous week. Look at that. Look at that. 13%. All right, 13.5%. One big swipe all in 1 week. But then, oh, I'm sorry, that was in 1 day. Okay, and then look at the next few days coming back down. Okay, so I want to see if this correction will just reverse back up, and let's see what happens. Kotak Bank also had been doing well and didn't get burned too much from last week. But remember, they're in new territory. It has gone beyond the all-time high. So it's brand new territory, and there is no reference point to say any resistance or anything else, no patterns here. Okay, so it's all in brand new territory. Now, what it could do is it could come back down and retest this all-time high and see if it will act as a support, or it could just keep pushing up. So there's always somewhat of an extra momentum once you get to that all-time high, somewhat of a emotional kind of a thing, and that's another good possibility. All right, but I want to see what will happen on Monday. So most of my trades will be either Monday afternoon or Tuesday. All right, Ashok Leyland. All right, look what's happening here. Again, it was moving toward that all-time high. All right, but look at this. Okay, and last few days it went back down, and then it's trying to come back up. All right, so this might be just like a retest onto this resistance level, and let's see what happens. Otherwise, if it does continue up, look at the percentage there. That's over 20% before it reaches the all-time high. All right, last one is Kitex. I have not put Kitex on my on my chart yet, on my watch list yet. You have not seen me doing this. But look at this. I was observing this. Let me look at the weekly chart. I was observing this where, okay, so there was a nice move up, and then you had a few months, right? 2 or 3 months of sideways move, and then it bounced back up. So now what I'm noticing, I wrote high volatility there, is that I'm noticing that's a high volatility stock, okay? Just moving up and down, up and down, up and down. So let me just observe, or let us just observe and see if this might be one of those stocks where it could do for a good swing trade like this one right here, okay? Now, if this 156.70 support resistance level, SR level is retested and moves back up, that might be another possible trade. Okay, although I have not traded Kitex, but that's something I'm looking at, and I want to see what will happen there. Okay, and on the daily chart, same thing on the daily chart. Let me get that. Oh, okay, here it is. See, okay, so it's just going sideways, and I want to see if that weekly volatility will pick up. There's a weekly. All right, so if that's the case, you know, I just want to watch and observe this one. Okay, so I've limited myself to just 10 this week also, and I hope you benefit from this. I hope you enjoy this. Please do not buy any of these just because they're on my list, but rather you open up the charts, draw the support and resistance levels, make sure you learn to draw the channel patterns and the triangle patterns, observe what is going on, and so use a combination of several of these, okay? The moving averages, the channel patterns or the triangle, and support and resistance, draw the levels of resistance, okay, one by one, and then you'll be able to watch and observe what is the next move. Hope you benefit from this, and if you have doubts, Please leave your questions, and I hope this will be a blessing to you this week. All right. Thank you. God bless you. Have a great week.